Ohayou gozaimasu. Ohayo. Gomen, I am a little bit late. It's a minute, I think. I think you guys not so cross at me. How are we doing? It's Friday morning here in Tokyo. Welcome in, everyone. Knock knock. Good evening. Good evening to you. Good morning for me. Let's just get into it. I have finished all the knife work on the block set. I made the color separation. And what did we do on Friday? Oh, Tuesday evening we pasted everything down. I remade that one sheet. Is this the one? Yeah, this is the one. Let's just switch over to the new cam, get straight into it. Let me move this one out of the way. This is the sheet I pasted down right at the end of the last stream, and I made a mistake. Luckily, this one doesn't have any like drawn on patterns and stuff, except the little dots, but they're relatively straightforward. The only thing I had to make sure of was that there's two levels of dots. These dots and these dots. The ones I'll be carving today, these have to align inside of these ones. So it's a good, that's the reason I didn't paste, I was numbering them 1 and 2. That's the reason I didn't paste the other one, because I wanted to put them on a light table and make sure that everything's lining up before I paste them down. So yeah, I made that. No problem here. I almost forgot the window here is not on the color breakdown from Atelier Sento. And I fixed it on the other one, and then I pasted this down. I made it kind of quickly, and I pasted it down, and I put it in there a little bit later. That's why that one is a slightly different pink color. I did it with a highlighter. All of the other color separations I do with this stuff. It doesn't matter what you use. This is just the stuff I use. This is carmine. I also have an orange. I was using the orange for a long time, but actually some of the wood is like got quite a strong brown hue to it, and the orange sort of disappears. So you can make mistakes. So the red is easier. I'm not really a big fan of this carmine color though. It's fine. It works. They last a long time, these poster paint things, so I'll be using this one for a while. Flyfish, welcome in. Nerdheart, Return to Earth, Quilter, Spiegel, usual suspects are all out in force. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Yeah, this is not the block we're working on. I need to... so I've done a bunch of clearing. I haven't cleared all the blocks, but all the blocks are cut. Got this one. Some patterns. And then... yeah, the back of this hasn't been cleared. And then I've got 2 more faces that need to be cleared here. But all the knife work's done. I saved you 1 block. Typically I do them like in stages. I do all the knife work first on all the blocks, then I do all the Marunomi, then I do all the clearing. Or not always. Sometimes I'll do, this time I did Marunomi and on both sides of 1 block. Then I did the big clearing on both sides of 1 block, and then I moved it over to the next block. It doesn't really make a difference. Henlo, watching making. Is that supposed to be Woodblock prints? Yeah. What you making, not watching making. Yeah, we're making Mokanga woodblock prints. Welcome in. Yeah, today we're going to be carving this block. It is a background block, but it also has some pattern here. Some of the registration is a little bit tricky, so I've got to be really careful when carving this bottom bit here. They're not all like matching, but there's like a slight overhang, which is probably why I followed you. Thank you. Yeah, welcome in. We're going to be making some cool woodblock prints. This is for the subscription series. This is my last one in the subscription series for Mokankan. And I'm going to stop talking and we can get into some carving. First things first, bit of music. Mic's okay. Everything's good. Let's just make sure we're in focus. Don't know if it's your camera, the way you carve the angle, but when I look at your carved but uninked blocks, they all look very 3D to me. This one? It's probably the camera angle. And also on this set, the last 2, I'm going slightly deeper than I usually go. This one's not so bad. This middle section here doesn't need to be this deep, but I'm just doing it. Peaceful life, that's what we're looking for. Where shall we start? Let's just start on the top here, work our way down. I have a sample up on my screen that I'll be flicking to back and forth, just so I can sort of get my bearings on which parts need to be exactly, which parts are like really critical. This looks like an amazing hobby to get into. Yeah, it's really good fun. There's now lots of information out there. Yeah, give it a go. You don't need to use all the highest grade materials and stuff right off the bat. My first print was made on some just cheap sakura I got from Tokyo. Not Tokyo Hands. My first one would have been, I think it was cherry, my first block. But it was awful. It was truly dreadful. Draw some shapes, cut some shapes, print some shapes. Your first one will be... Are we okay? Your first one won't be a beautiful print. The first one you showed us was the best example of these couple, but I've noticed this before on some other projects. I'm not sure exactly what you're getting at. They look very 3D. Are you saying that they look like they're carved very deeply? Or that... What are you trying to get at? So on these color blocks, I'm just splitting the lines. I don't want any white gaps, and I don't want the colors to peek outside the lines. So just take them down the middle. Why is it always hot? I think probably like the camera and everything. The room's like fine to work in. It's not too hot in here usually. But as soon as the computer and the iPad, everything's like up and running, I think it starts kicking out heat. Maybe I should turn the AC down. If I turn the block a little bit, is that a better angle for you? I don't really have anything special to talk about today. I have had kind of a peaceful week. Well, peaceful, I've been busy. I got a lot of progress done on this print. I did take some footage here and there, but I've decided I won't be making a proper YouTube video for this. I'll probably just make like non-narrated, my lower production level ones. I'll compile something. I'll just like chop and cut them up. I'll put them on my Patreon, and I've got a couple projects like this that I think I will like split up and maybe turn into shorts. Like a series. I don't really like part 1, part 2, part 3 type shorts, but I think that's probably the best option since I don't want to make a full production YouTube video. It's just technically it's just not very complicated or interesting. Ah, okay, I get what you're saying. The images of the faces that are painted like Vanta Black or whatever, and you can't tell if they're not Vanta Black. No, that wouldn't work. They just look blank then, don't they? But the faces where you turn them and you can't tell, like they're convex, but they look concave, right? Is that what you're talking about? Are you saying that the actual raised bits perhaps could be interpreted as yeah, I got it, okay. Being sunken in. Interesting. My PC functions as a secondary furnace in winter. Yeah, that makes sense. Welcome in. Reformants. And Citron, welcome in. And you can see there from that slip that I still haven't got a new mat. I really need to buy a new roll of this stuff. Cut some new mats. All the rolls are really old now. A little bit shy on that one. Shave it a touch more. I'm communicating back and forth with the British Museum to get into the study room. And I had some emails back and forth with them yesterday, and it's not good news. I checked the train timetables and stuff, and I was ready to book. And then he got back to me, the guy I'm talking to for the study room to view the print in the British Museum. I think I mentioned before that they only do it on Wednesdays and Fridays. And so I was going to make a special trip down to London just by myself, just like try and do it in a day. Found some trains that work, super expensive, but okay. And unfortunately, those dates, it's just not going to work. And he kept suggesting days like outside of my travel plans. Come back on the 22nd, I think, 21st, 22nd. He's suggesting the 28th to go over there, and I'm like, no, you can't do that. So it looks like the only day that's actually going to be available is right after I land. And I don't know what's the best option for that. We could stay in London for a night, all of us. And then right after the long flight, I'll be groggy. But then I'll have to go to the British Museum and try and do the interview and see the print then. Which is like the last date I really wanted to do it. Or I take everyone back to London and then take everyone back to North Wales, and then the next day come back on my own, which also isn't great. There's not really any good options. The last email I got from him was suggesting the 11th, which is a Thursday, and the room's not open on a Thursday. It's open on Wednesdays and Fridays. So, Jesus. We had a few back and forth. And then I said, are you sure you haven't made a mistake here with the days? And then I haven't heard back from him again. So today it doesn't look like, because it's sleepy time in UK now, it looks like I won't be able to book my trains today. Hopefully he messages me like tonight so I can book them over the weekend and get that all organised and sorted. The annoying thing was, instead of like just saying these are the available days, how does any of these work for you, he'd suggest one at a time, and then I'd have to wait for another email from him. So he'd say like, how about the 17th? I'd say, how about the 17th? Does that work? And he'd say, no, how about the 28th? Okay, can you just list all the days that I can do it, and I'll choose the one that I can actually do, instead of like each email, it's one suggested date. Anyway, it's a lovely service they do. It's just a little bit tricky communicating in different time zones. Have you ever been to Disneyland or Disney World? I did go to Disneyland once, and I hated it. I really hated it. I'm really averse to queuing for anything. Like if I go to a restaurant, if I'm looking for food when I'm outside, I'm like, oh, this place looks really good, and then I'll like go inside and there's a big line, I'll just leave. I'm really adverse to queuing for anything. Which is why I don't really like traveling so much, because there's just so much waiting around at airports and queuing and nightmare. Anyway, we'll figure out the British Museum thing. I've got to see the print, but it might just mean that I'll have a bit of a rough start to the vacation. And I can't sleep on airplanes either, or public transport in general. I don't sleep very well, to be honest. So I'll be awake for the entire flight. I'm guessing I'll maybe get like 5 minutes here or there. The trip I made an emergency trip back to the UK once, and it took me like 40 hours. It's just the worst. And I think I maybe got like an hour sleep in that time. In totaled up from like little 5-minute naps here and there. But it takes me like so long to get to sleep, and then it's like quickly waking up after that. It's traveling is not so fun. I like a train. I like a train. Nice book, a train. I don't really get much time to like do any proper reading, but train's like the perfect place for that. I won't get to do any reading on the plane, I guess, with a 1-year-old. A little bit nervous about a 1-year-old. That's rough. I really envy people who can sleep on a plane. Yeah, I envy people who just. My partner's like that. She just lies down. She can go to sleep anywhere. I'm so jealous. And also, like, I'm not a napper. I can't really make naps work for me. And if I do, then I just feel awful waking up. Like, but she can have a nap and then get up and just like, okay, back to it. So any nappers in chat, I'm really quite envious of you. What's this? I hope you play with your son before boarding, and it will be smooth sailing for the rest of the flight. Yeah. We're getting like a midnight flight. So if we're lucky, we'll get like maybe 7 hours of sleep. Any turbulence wakes me up. For me, it's the chairs. They're just too small. They're too uncomfortable. I want to like spread out. I sort of sleep like, you know, the exit signs. There's a little man. He's like this, one leg up in the running pose. You can't really do that in an aeroplane seat. Kind of flying through this block, aren't we? Maybe reposition. I don't think it's going to take the whole stream to do this. He'll be sleeping on both of us. If we do finish this, we can move over to one of the blocks that I've already cleared. We can do some ice ski on that. Did the music just stop? Can you hear it? Does he have a flavor plush to hug with? Yes, he does. Yeah, he got given this little wolf thing. And there's like a little ceramic cat outside. And he liked the eyes in it. And the noise cats make in Japanese is nyanya. And so all dogs and cats and wolves and anything that has like fur and eyes, they're called Nyanya to him now. Correcting him as much as possible, but that's just what it is. So his little wolf's called Nana instead of Nyanya. Yeah, we will be bringing it along. The sound is cutting out for me. I don't know if you guys can still hear it. Maybe it's just playing on in the background. Maybe it's my headphones. Nothing is changing, cutting out. Okay, we'll leave it like that then. Probably the batteries, yeah. I used to be able to sleep on aircrafts when I was shocked awake on a military aircraft. When we went weightless for what seemed like an eternity last time, sleeping on a plane. Jesus. So now any turbulence is like locked in. There it was. I actually turned it off. That was not it cutting out. An ad coming in a couple minutes. Just a heads up. So what else is going on? I think Dave let it slip out the bag that this is not a Burger King logo. It is a black hole. And someone guessed that on the other stream. Any samurai progress? No, I haven't been working on it. Only the time I mentioned. It's very nearly done. There's only like a few more lines of kanji to write out, but each line they do take quite a bit of time to do. A couple more days work and then that'll be done. Then I can start working on the color separation. I've got to do a printout. Oh, just start the ads, I'll wait. So hopefully I can finish that before we go. I should finish this block set sometime early next week, I'm guessing. You probably won't see this again. This will be the last time you're seeing me do any work on this set of blocks. This, and then the bottom. Because I've been doing so much tracing recently, and then suddenly, Jesus, these ads are all over the place. Because I've been doing a lot of tracing recently, and my carving has been on the back burner for a while because I haven't really had like carving projects other than ice ski work. Endless amounts of work with the bullnose chisels, but not actually like cutting stuff. My finger's been a little sore. Maybe I can show you. Just there. The hard spot on my finger that I get here got a little bit soft, I guess, from all the tracing. And the skin is being pinched. It's being pressed in between the groove here. So that's what that is. It's not a blister. It's just the skin being pressed in the groove there. This is why you don't want to stop carving for a prolonged period of time and then like do hours and hours and hours suddenly. That's the only real callus I get. The other one, no, that's not true. I get a callus at the tip of my finger here. You can't see it. Maybe you can see it a little bit. I get a callus at the tip of my finger. That's where this one presses into. I move this a lot, and the edges sometimes after sharpening, the bottom side edge here is like a little bit sharp, so I get a callus there. And then sharpening, I get it on the outside of that same finger. I get a little bit of a callus there when holding the blade. Let me show you, I can demonstrate. Holding the blade like this, the edge can be sharp so it digs in a little bit. And also sometimes you can slip and you can catch a little bit of the inside of the finger there. Those are the only real calluses. Little finger and the tip of the middle finger. Music stopped again. Matt, as long as it's playing for you guys. This block will have a double gradation on it. It'll be one color at the top here, and then it'll have a two-color change somewhere around here. Sort of like the sky on the first print in the series, where you got two colors that match. A little bit tricky to print them. You don't want to overlap them too much, because you start to get some weird colors, especially if the two colors are very different. Go on. Tip is done. Tip is done. I think we're good. Maybe it's because I'm going to the UK soon and like Wales has sort of been in my head. But I've got this little Welsh folk song stuck in my head. It's been going round and round for days. I've been singing it to my son. I don't know how useful teaching him any Welsh will be, but let's hear it. I suppose none of you, and most of you have probably never even heard Welsh, have you? It's actually quite short. I'm not a singer. Maybe I'll give you the first verse. I don't know what it means. I think it comes from like an old writing, and then someone turned like this passage into a song, and it's like one of the most famous Welsh songs, like short folk songs. It's called Sosban Fach, and it means little saucepan. I think it's some sort of something to do with war. But the lyrics are a little bit, I guess they have a deeper meaning, but try language capable can't be a bad thing. Yeah, but like how useful is Welsh? Like if he's not living in Wales, and the effort it would be to teach him Welsh and be the only person who ever communicates to him in Welsh and like get him to a level of proficiency. He'll of course learn a few words, but Maybe I can get the song on Spotify. Maybe not. Let's not faff around. I can't hear any of it anyway. Unless it's all foul language. I suppose I could get away with like really having a filthy mouth on Twitch if I did it all in Welsh. If you're in a picky situation, you can pretend you don't know English and Japanese and speak Welsh to diffuse the situation. Yeah, bilingual is still good. Jad, do you want to hear it? I hadn't intended on singing today, but it's been stuck in my head. I'll see if I can translate it after. It goes. Have a drink of water. Should I really be singing online? As Diana learned some Welsh, I was teaching her some Welsh phrases. She's learnt a couple Welsh phrases. We were learning diolch yn fawr iawn, which is thank you very much. Not bad, not bad. Yeah, this is it. It goes, mae bys Merian wedi brifo, a Dafydd y was ddim yn iach. Mae'r baban yn y cryd yn crio, a'r gath wedi sgrapo Johnny fach. Sosban fawr yn berwi ar y llawr, sosban fach. Ti gael... Sosban fach yn berwi ar y tân, sosban fawr yn berwi ar y llawr, a'r gath wedi sgrapo Johnny fach. It's basically that. There's one other verse and a little interlude bit, but that's it. My first time hearing Welsh. So the lyrics is mae bys Marianne wedi brifo. Marianne's finger is hurt. A Dafydd o was ddim yn iach. Dafydd, the servant, isn't well. Mae'r baban yn y cryd yn crio. The baby in the crib is crying. Ar y gath wedi sgrapo Johnny fach is... And the cat... what would be the best translation for scrapo? It's like fighting, but like beating up. I think the best translation is probably like fucked up. The cat is fucked up little Johnny. Is probably the best translation for that. Yeah, so you tell me what that means. And then the chorus is Sosban fach berwi ar y tân, sosban fawr berwi ar y llawr. Little saucepan boiling on the fire, big saucepan boiling on the floor. The cat has fucked up little Johnny. That's it. That's the song. My 10 to 18 years was spent in Mexican community, and I learned that they have stuck with me were words that I don't use in good company. Yeah, swear words, they're probably the first words most people learn, especially if you learn while you're drinking and stuff. Can anyone figure out what the meaning of this song is? I'd say like 90% of all Welsh people, probably 100, but I'm being conservative. Most Welsh people know this song. It's like really, really famous. But I don't think I've ever been given like the meaning to it. The next verse is just like a play on the first verse. It's instead of her finger is hurt, her finger is better. Dafydd, the servant, is not just unwell, but he's in a grave now. The baby's grown up. and the cat is asleep. Sosban fach, beru ar y tân. Sosban fawr, beru ar y llawr. Little saucepan on the fire, big saucepan on the floor. The cat's fucking up little Johnny. And there's a little interlude thing about a man called Dai, who's a soldier, and the tail of his shirt is sticking out or something like that. Hmm. I'm sure there are some people breaking down the actual meaning of the song, like not word for word, but what's the like subcontext? Sounds like a crazy rock and roll lullaby song. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think usually it's sung to kids, isn't it? Like choirs are a very big thing in Wales. Even in our national anthem, it says like we're the land of singers and bards. So we're very proud of our singing in choirs and stuff like that. I don't really care so much, but as a people's. If the sound is like too high or it's weird, like I can't hear the sound at all. In fact, I should probably. No, it will stop if I take that out. I can't carry tune in a happy birthday song. It's a terrible song, happy birthday song. Do you know what else is awful? The English version of the alphabet song. I have a 1-year-old now. I'm sorry to keep talking about a baby, but like it's a large part of my life. I carve and I look after a 1-year-old. That's like, oh, and I swim. That's all I do. But the Japanese one, has anyone heard the Japanese alphabet song? It's a legit banger. It's really, really good. So at the moment, those are the songs I'm singing a lot. It's Sospanvach and um, the Japanese alphabet song. Has anyone heard it? I will do a rendition of that because if you haven't heard it, you need to feel bad about your own alphabet song. We're ready. The English one is just like there's a vague tune there, and you just sort of do the alphabet. No one Japanese version. Ja. Okay, this one's proper. A, I, U, E, O, Ka, Ki, Ku, Ke, Ko, Sa, Shi, Su, Se, So, Ta, Chi, Tu, Te, To, Nani, Nu, Ne, No, Ha, Hi, Hu, He, O, Ma, Mi, Mu, Me, Mo, Ya, Yu, Yo, Ra, Ri, Ru, Re, Ro, Wa, On, Atto, Ten, Tomaru, Des. Isn't it a tune? It's really good. Never heard of this. No, it's fantastic. A legit banger. Is that very British of me? Sorry. Is this what they teach in elementary? Well, I worked at a kindergarten before. We didn't really used to do the alphabet song, but it was an international kindergarten. I'm sure they must sing it in the Hoikons. Maybe it's more of a Yorkshire thing. There's two types like daycares in Japan. I guess it's the same anywhere. One is called a hoikon, and one is called a yorchen. The yorchen is what I used to work at, but it was like an international one, and it's like quite educational based. But the hoikons are more just like having fun and playing, more like a daycare rather than kindergarten, I guess. All the fundamentals akasata, yeah. The only thing it doesn't really sing is all the variations with like the dakten. Each of the Japanese characters, the hiragana, katakana, they can all be written as a straight one. Like you've got ah, but then if you put like it doesn't work with ah. Okay, ka, and then if you put two little dots, it goes to ga, and then if you put the round one, you get different sounds for all the characters. But the song just says and then there's the dots and the dashes, but it doesn't give you all the sounds. How many sounds are there in total in Japanese? Something like 46, maybe? I know. I'm not going to go through and count them all. Surprised we still have some people here after my singing. Let me just look across. We're all good. These are the areas I have to be careful with now. And then we got the dots. Okay. What time are we on? It's nearly an hour. I think finish this on stream. And that'll be the whole stream, I reckon. Just double check inside or outside. This is. So there's a yellow that comes up here, and I want a white space in between these two. So I got to be careful I don't extend it over into this bit at all. Like if I'm going to cut the line, maybe cut on the inside of the line is better. And also I can carve smoother, straighter lines with the knife than I can just with a pen. So I'm going to be not following the line exactly on all these strokes. I'll be trying to smooth them out with the knife. Let me pull that up slightly. My finger does hurt quite a bit. Guess I did a lot of carving yesterday. How many blocks did I do yesterday? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No, I did 5 the day before, and I did 4 yesterday. Can I? Or 3 and some clearing. Yeah, because this is the 5th one. There's 9 in total. Check this one. No, it's standalone. I have a bit of freedom. This character is keeping rhythm with Taryn's playlist. Did I pause it? Oh, I didn't pause it when I did the thing. I forgot. The other little niggle I have is because I've been rubbing so many of these things, my finger, my tip of my finger is sore. It's okay today. Yesterday it was really sore after rubbing them all. Is there any taste? Any wiggles? No, just the thin touch around off at the end. Make sure I'm on camera. It's about right. Now the other side. Don't slip. Meant to rub off Gampital. Yeah, the market is massive. People will be clambering all over. I think they already exist, you know. It's just those little rubber page turner things, right? Although I think it would probably be a really terrible idea. You want the sensitivity in your finger. You want to be able to feel. Now, check. Oddly, they don't line up, which is a little bit strange. If I was drawing this, I'd have drawn it like this, lifted up and gone back down. But this one sort of goes like this, and then it sort of comes like that on the actual image. It's not how I'd have drawn it. Or the cash corner rubber. Yeah, that's the thing I was thinking of. Bank tellers, yeah. It's the same thing, isn't it, for books? instead of having to lick your fingers like that. So you can tell I took the side of this line first because it's the inside. And then I did the outside. And then this way, I didn't start on this side, the same order as I did this one. I went this way first. Always doing the inside of a curve first. Dear ASMR Rabbi, whoa, this is Taryn, son. Welcome in. Hi. I am Mr. Taryn, yeah. How are you? I take it you're a Japanese printmaking viewer. I can always tell who the Dave Twitch viewers are because they're the only people that call me Taryn-san. I had no clue you streamed. I've watched Dave for years. I stream. I've been streaming. How long's it been now? I think I've done about 30 streams. So at 2 a week. Someone can do the math there. There was a memo. Clearly I missed something along the line. I don't think it was publicized so much on Dave's streams. He mentioned it a couple times, but if you miss like a couple streams, it's the infamous Taryn-san. What have I done to gain my infamy? I don't think I've been such a naughty boy. You just arrived a little late, Mr. Dear ASMR Rabbi. We've just been singing. And we won't be getting on that again. I'm working my way through the Twitch archive. Since you're new here, we stream twice a week. We do Tuesday evenings for me, and we do this time Friday mornings. And I never miss a stream. I'm very punctual always. Isn't that right, chat? We never have any technical issues. The stream title's always correct. It's a very professional stream, to be fair to me. This one's more of a point. I think today, best streamer ever, really. Yeah. The wonder, like Hassan Abi and all these other top streamers, like, don't know why they've got so many views when there's just like this gold is here. The Misty Nico print was fantastic. Thank you. I like that one a lot. You know, the audio is messed up in that first video in that series. I used 3 different softwares, and I didn't know what I was doing at the start, and I wanted something that was like easy and like the interface was simple for the first one. I used a program called LumaFusion, and it was because most of my editing is just cut, paste, then like add some voiceover and stuff. It's like not very difficult editing. Um, it's mostly just cutting. Pretty simple stuff. I used a program called LumaFusion, and it was on the iPad, so I could do it when I was on the train, like traveling, which was really good. But anytime you export anything on that, especially the larger files, like that Nickel one was huge. It was a really heavy file. The audio, I just couldn't get it to like. It would be ducked really heavily every single time I exported anything from it. The second one was made on a different program, and now I'm using DaVinci Resolve. Although I might change to Premiere Pro now I have the Adobe suite. We'll see. But yeah, I did start making like a compilation of that. But because I don't have the LumaFusion anymore, I was going to have to like re-record a bunch of stuff because all I have is the audio already compressed in with the music. So if I like try and change the audio levels, it also cranks up all the music and everything is ruined. So I was going to re-record the audio for the video one, and sort of like I've edited a bunch of stuff out, put them all into one video, and so it's a little bit shorter, a little bit more concise. Like any bits that overlap on the part one, part two, and part three, I was going to put it into like a single larger video with like all the audio levels balanced across and correctly done. But I don't know if there's any point because I've already got the video out there. I tried DaVinci Resolve and I didn't care for it much. But if you're doing like high level color balancing and stuff like that, I think it's really good. But all that stuff is like a little bit. I don't need that level. It's free and I think it's good. So I might try Premiere Pro, or is that what it's called? The Adobe one? How long have you been in Japan? Since September 2018. So pushing 6 years now, is it? Hi, I'm Taryn. That's Nightbot. You lie, I'll swear to it, Taryn, kind of fits a certain situation in a certain country at a certain current time. I don't know what I lied about. If you look at the center of the dark circle, it could be a mushroom. This one, a little stem coming down here, it starts to swirl a little bit. Ooh. Well, it's evening for you. Fly fishers, obviously. No, good. I don't know what that is. No, the dark part. That is the dark part, Jenny. That's the darkest bit. I'm sure that's the dark bit. Anyway, let's carve these other little bits. Make sure it's up. Am I even on camera? Not really. You can center that a lot better. Okay, gotta be careful here. This one, it can come under the black a little bit here because we don't want it peeking out, so I can cut into the black a little bit. This one outside line, this one in, so all underneath. Okay. I'm wondering if something like Vanta Black would work in Mokanka. It could be interesting when you want a really deep black. Yeah, it depends on the type of image. Like, I'm sure it could work. Is it a watercolor base? It's not even the darkest black anymore, is it? There is a darker black. There was that big drama with that artist who like got all the rights to Vanta Black. And then after all that struggle and faff with it, I think someone just made a dark black. This doesn't need... I should cut this in more just to be safe. I'll give them a bit more room. None of this will actually be visible. It's all going to be under the black. So I shouldn't cut it too close. I should cut in a little bit more. In theory, I could really cut this anywhere inside. I could cut straight across the middle here. I could cut straight across the middle here, or I could even cut along the bottom. I just give it a decent step in. What we don't really want is the creasing on the paper. Where originally in the UK are you from? UK, I'm guessing, yeah, North Wales. But Bands of Black is made from carbon nanotubes, right? Is that true? Is that how they make it so black? Is it carbon nanotubes? Would that absorb into wood blocks? I don't know how carbon nanotubes interact with moist wood. Then someone created the pink is pink and created a pattern that denied that guy, whoever created the blackest black, to use it. Oh, that's great. That's great. I really like that. Internet coming together. Yeah, I'm not sure how printable it would be. Did you learn the popping out of the end of the line from Sensei or Dave? All my carving techniques, they're from Asuka Sensei. I don't take any of my... There's places where they overlap, but any like information I tell you that this is how I do it, that comes from Asuka Sensei. But Dave will also do the same, I'm guessing. I think so. Who looks at those black colours and it's like, can we make something darker? I don't know, when something's really, really, really black, it can become quite trippy. Some of those like Vanta Black painted things, they're quite interesting. Like, it's quite striking. It's like when you're out at night, you know, there's always a little bit of light. But occasionally you go to somewhere that's just like really dark. And it's a different level of dark. I haven't seen any of the blackest blacks in person. I really like the pinkest pink thing though. That's really great. Yeah, this is the one that's a little bit trickier. Come in, gap all the way along. So this portion here, I have to nail it. The bottom, it's okay. It's overlapping. They should be matching here, and then the yellow stops like here, so we're okay. Just be careful of that bit. I gotta remember how I intended to draw it. I'm guessing outside of the line. The world's pinkest pink is a vibrant fluorescent pink paint created by an artist, Stuart Semple, designed to be accessible to everyone except Anish Kapoor. That was it. It's great, yeah. It was really good. It's just a big middle finger to him. I invented this thing and everyone can use it except you. I really like that type of petty stuff, you know, it's really good. It's just so childish. Imagine writing your pattern. Anyone who buys it has to upload their ID to make sure that they're not Anish Kapoor. That's the best kind of petty prank. I've yet to try it, but when getting the deepest dark black, it's going to be to do Dave's chest and mix semi as opposed to paint. Oh, yeah, that's how you get a nice rich black. He says that that's a secret technique, but it's not unique to Mokankan alone. What's going on this side? Should be inside. Okay. And the smaller thing. I think that'll be good. Freely shared secret technique. Maybe not freely shared. I once went to New Gorgon Island and went on a tour guide. Switched off a tour. Went on a and when the tour guide switched off a torchlight, I felt the darkness in there was like high pressure black. Yeah, you get some. My caves are one of the places where you can experience like true blackness. There's always some light, isn't there? It's a little bit eerie being in somewhere that's like truly dark. And I guess you sort of get that feeling if you use that paint. We're not used to seeing like true that blackness. So I guess it's a little bit like eerie. We is done. Back in the hippie days when we walked deep, when we wanted deep black for our silkscreen works, we mix black tempera. What's tempera? Black tempera. I've never heard of that. With Higgins American Indian ink. Still, it's great to be able to buy the pinkest pink. A buyer has to sign a legal declaration that states you are not Anish Kapoor, you are in no way affiliated to Anish Kapoor, and you are not purchasing the item on behalf of Anish Kapoor or an associate of Anish Kapoor. It's so good. That's just fun. All we have now is a couple little circles. Coming to the end, I think we can probably do these in time. I'm just going to look at the sample because they're not actually perfect circles. My own screen. Here. Okay. I've got the shapes. I've not got the shapes like perfect. I haven't tried to draw them perfectly with my hand, but I have got the location where they need to be is very precise. We're going to be drawing here first. I'm going to switch over, zoom into this reference. Really critical. Small dots like this need to be cut really cleanly. If you don't cut them really nicely, or you like leave a big gouge in the center, or there's like some unevenness in there, if there's not a nice ramp, these will block up super easily. Yeah, chicken mice is on it. The printers will love these. I might have to make these a little bit bigger. This one in particular is quite small. I'll do a test print and see how much room I have to play. But I'm going on the small side now because I'm worried about the positioning. Down. Nice clean little pop out there. If you're doing these yourself, you might break your tips a few times. Be careful. Make sure I'm on camera. No. This music makes me ultra relaxed. The volume of it's just perfect. Spot on. Good. What is that then? That is 40. Minus 40. Thank you for the feedback. Mm-hmm. I think we're safe. trying to see. Did you hear that? Doesn't really look chipped at all. But I think like a tiny, tiny, tiny little bit went off the tip. I put just a little bit too much pressure when I was holding it like this. It's still a really pointy end. I don't think I'm going to be able to show you. What I can do, what I do with this is just take the tip. I've already done this on this. All good. I should rub the back quickly as well. Sorry, I'm not doing that on camera. It's difficult. Like a lot of that, I don't think we were getting it visible enough. A lot of that chip that you were seeing was actually just I'd already done that on the back, so it wasn't actually chipped. I could basically not see the piece that came off, but I definitely heard it. So just protect it. Make sure I'm super sharp. Just take it a tiny little bit back. Let's see the shape of these. I definitely heard it, but I can't see any shininess here, and it's not stuck in the wood. One point, if you are doing your own little circles, little carving like this, it's really important to try and keep that angle. Most people, when I watch them in the classes, when they start at the top here, almost at 90, and they come round and they bring that angle down to the bottom here, they've got like more than a 70 degree. It's more like 60. So they go from 90 to 60. But the ideal is to have it the same angle all the way around. They'll print the best. It's a bit of an odd shaped one here. When I break a lot of tips, I have a strong magnet. I move over the block. Funny. Zooming in to watch the carving on these circles is so cool. Just with your fingers on the screen. Where are we now? Up here. Bit of a point on the corner of this one. Oh, I think I made it a little too sharp, so I'm just going to smooth that out a little bit. Whoosh. 2 more circles, and then I think we're good. This one is basically round. Off. Last one. Sort of like a flick. A couple of these, like this one and this one. These and this one as well. These will probably have to get bigger. But I do want to have a look at an impression before I go too big any direction. I just want to make sure everything's centered, because if they are off center and I need to make them a little bigger, I can like stretch the circle in a certain direction to like line them up in the holes a little better. That's okay. It's good to swallow a super tiny piece of iron and then helps you grind up more microplastics in your intestines. I think that's this block done. Did I miss any areas? That's all good. Good, good, good. Oh, this border isn't done. Don't need the sharp knife for that. What time are we on? Just past the hour. I'm just going to finish up this. And then I think that's it. That is it, yeah. Last cut. Go hard and deep on the outsides here. On camera. And there we go. That is ready for clearing. Did you say you just switched to a dollar knife? Ah, no, sorry, maybe I didn't. I should have mentioned that. When I was doing the circles, I used my pointier knife. So for the main carving, I did my... It's not that much sharper, to be honest. For the main carver, I used this one. Then when I switched over to the circles, I used this one here. It's got a bit of a pointier tip. Can you see the difference in them? I roll them, you can see it. Yeah, one of them's a bit pointier. Yeah, so I changed the angle just to get those round corners. Gotcha. I think we'll leave it there, guys. Not the most interesting stream, but you actually got to see some carving with a knife, which is cool. As I say, this will be the last time you see this print. Got the seal there, don't worry. And there was a couple of other spots, you know, I got to be more careful. I thought with so many eyes watching that like I could just sort of zone out. I didn't do any checking. I'd finished the sheets really quickly and I was ready to paste them on last one. I thought, oh, chat will be there. They'll catch everything. And then after that first one, I should have been wary. But I actually found a few other spots, you know, while I was carving. I'm always checking the images back and forth, but I realized I won't be trusting you guys again. There's a little bit missing here, which nearly got carved away. Luckily, I'm vigilant. I'm on it. Saw that. And there was a little bit here as well. So, You guys got to buck up your ideas a little bit, I think. Never trust chat. No, evidently, I've got to be more careful. I'll do the checking beforehand, and then I'll just like give it to you guys, just like, oh, have fun with it. I'll leave a couple deliberate little bits there. So I've warned myself now. I'm gonna get carving these. No swimming today, but I will be back on Tuesday. Thanks for showing up, everyone. Pleasure as always. Bit of a sleepy town this morning, but I think we'll be okay now. Another coffee in me. We'll be done. Should we check if there's a raid? All this chatting, didn't even check if there's someone online. Let's go same category. In fact, actually, let's look in art. Search. How do we do this? Oh, there we go. Anyone making interesting art? So many furries, Jesus. A lot of options, yeah. Let's just go to the first one I choose. Scroll. Here we are. Art, fun art, digital art, drawing, painting art. Okay, let's just go here. I don't know this streamer. It's the first time. Start raid. Please be nice. Say hello. BLF sloth. Maybe maybe they're a furry too. I don't know. Thank you for the stream. Yeah, thank you for showing up. I will catch you guys Tuesday evening. Goodbye, everyone. Peace.